Hello, friends, and welcome to The Companion to the Companion, a podcast where my friend Ian and
Hello.
myself, Sam, hello, we discuss all things Phish, and we are on our 19th episode tonight, and it is June 26th from the summer of 1994, and we are at the Municipal Auditorium in Charleston, West Virginia. Hello, Ian.
Hello, Sam. Great to be here. Hello, everyone. Happy to be talking about this show for you. Holds a special place in my heart, and I believe Sam's heart, at least parts of it, and we're going to tell you all about it. Game hoist, it is often referred to as.
Hoist.
A very unique thing they pulled off here. They did one set, Gamehenge, which I would assume at this point y'all know what it is. And set 2 was their brand new album that came out in 1994, Hoist. Played it in its entirety, in order. And just such a cool idea. I think, so probably
spontaneous, so cool.
Bands have played whole albums all the way through. It had happened before, and there's been a resurgence of it, in the past decade or so. But at the time in 1994, it was kind of unheard of to just kind of play your whole new album in concert. That was not something bands did.
And especially this band, yeah.
Especially this band. And then to add Gamehenge on top of it makes it especially special. So just the context of it, this is their first show in West Virginia. Their only show in West Virginia, I'm gonna guess.
I can't remember, but I know this was the first, and I know it was the only time they ever played this place, which you can find online and was absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful indoor theater. It seats about 3,500, but as the stories go, it was half empty. And you kind of get that vibe of the band was excited. They probably didn't sell it out. It was this beautiful place. They knew they would have an attentive audience, and it became one for the history books. And I mean, we will be doing shows throughout this that the show itself has a name, or there's a song, like there's a one version of a song, so it gets named after that show.
Right.
And this is definitely one of those shows that has lore, being Game Hoist, and everyone just calls it that.
Right.
And the fact it fell in a month or a 2-month stretch of really incredible music this summer is just a testament to how great this band was at this time.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I think that, after having re-listened to it, this is not a jammy show by any means. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's like very tight. It's very, reeled in. But I think it gives you an opportunity to appreciate just how incredible they were at writing songs and compositions. And I mean, they were great songwriters. And I bring this up mostly because this week was a big week for Goose online. They're doing a tour on the East Coast, and everybody's just like, oh my God, it's like just like seeing Phish in the 90s. And I don't want to be that 1.0 guy that just kind of rolls my eyes at comments like that, because I'm very happy that people are going out and enjoying the music and feel like they're seeing something special in its early stages. And I think that that's a beautiful thing. But I do get very frustrated with this innate need to compare. It's really unnecessary and frustrating. And I just don't think comparing Goose with this is, I don't even think Goose would consider that to be a fair juxtaposition.
I'm not nostalgic exactly, and I'm not specifically cynical, but I'll play the 1.0 guy.
Yeah.
And I'll say, like, now, and everybody goes to Fishnet to pay attention to Phish shows.
Yeah.
You read reviews, you look at the set list. It's really different than when I literally had a little notebook I kept in my pocket to write them down, because there was no internet when I started seeing the band. And, it was just fledgling internet. And you had to do stuff like that to remember the set list and to talk to your friends about it.
Right.
And going through these shows that we're listening to, I'll look at shows around them and listen to other shows. And, we delved into a specific song for this one that we'll get into later, to bring up our 3 favorite, unique versions of. And I listened to some shows that were absolutely amazing with some really great playing.
Yeah.
And the ratings were, 3.5 out of 5.
That's
and then you
nuts.
go to some modern 3.0 show that is, in my opinion, nowhere near the musical level of a lot of these shows, with the intensity, with the precision, with even the improvising.
Yeah.
And they're 4.5, like it is, or 4s even. It's wild.
Yeah.
And it's one thing that, you're judging it because we're living in an internet and an immediate era. So people are able to go review and judge and talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm unplugged from Goose at all. I've never listened to one of their, I take that back. I listened to half of one of their songs the other day and I couldn't make it all the way through one.
Which song was it?
And it was their most played one on Spotify. I was like, I wonder if they can actually compose a song that will hold my interest for a full song. And it was not possible.
Yeah. Well, they do have good voices. I will give them that, but, yeah.
Well, Phish is a great example. You don't have to have a perfect voice to be a great band.
Yeah. It for just like when you're blind or you're deaf, it forces you to use your other abilities and senses that much more, right? They learn to play their instruments even better. Yeah. Okay. So Dripfield is the number one song on, and I do think that's one of their better songs. So if you can't make it through that, you're screwed. Okay. Moving on from Goose. Again.
Yeah, let's loop back. Like you said, there's no headphones from this show in the book, meaning there's no real big jams. There's no, long stretched out periods. But I found the two sets to be starkly different. The playing was so great all the way through. I really enjoyed it. I think this belongs on the list for a number of reasons.
Yeah.
And I'll go to bat as we go through this, but I think in many ways it's the show of the ballads.
Yeah.
The room must have. If you go look up a picture of this room, it is so beautiful, and I think the band really felt it, and they were comfortable, and it was warm in there, with the acoustics, and they put on a great show. I had a great time.
And there was like a calmness to the narration in Gamehenge, like a patience and a calmness to it that I did not find in the other versions that we listened to, where in the other ones it was like all energy and like, I can't believe this is happening, this is so exciting. And this one almost kind of like, we're letting you in on our little secret. And so yeah, well,
it's going to be unique for us here because we have episode 20. The next show is so this was the 4th ever performed Gamehenge. The next show we're going to be reviewing is the 5th ever performed Gamehenge, and then it was never performed again.
Yeah.
So this is back in episode 6. We discussed 32293's Gamehenge,
right?
Which was the first one on the list of 100. I'm pretty well versed with number 5, and we can discuss it then after listening. But they are all very different versions,
right.
And I had a good time with this one.
Yeah,
I thought the narration was quick, but the performances of the songs were really spectacular. So let's dive in.
Well, rich in minerals. So we have Kong as the opener, which is very fun. Little vocal
spooky
ditty to kind of be like, ooh, this is going to be a little something special.
Yeah, you get that vibe right off the bat.
Yeah.
The band's not trying to build energy. It's a weird sort of spookiness.
Right. But then they kick into Llama, the ultimate opener, and it was rocking. Then we go some narration. They start talking about Gamehenge and that they're going to tell this story. And
the crowd freaks. They get pretty pumped up.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. So, you probably heard we came out here and did what we call the Coon Chant. The Coon Chant is that magical chant that takes us kind of away from this place here and brings us to a place that we call Gamehenge. Now, this is the first time that we've ever played in West Virginia, other than a short thing that we did. We're very excited about this too. So, other than a short thing that we did on our mountain stage a while ago. But since we're here tonight, we thought we'd start things off with the Coon Chant. And the Coon Chant brings us, like I said, to a place called Gamehenge.
Between, post Llama, when the words Gamehenge are spoken. So there had to have been a decent amount of people on tour, or, even if it was half full, it's 1,500, 2,000 people. And, there's some people you can tell are in the know and they understand what's happening. And they're really excited.
Yeah, there was a couple parts of the show where the crowd really just goes bonkers and you're like, oh, you guys are excited.
Yeah,
that was one of them for sure.
Yeah.
And then we get into our first song, The Lizards.
Yeah, the really great lizards.
Yeah.
Great page solo to finish. Really patient in the Trey part. There's, we've talked in shows about rushing versus patience, and there's a lot of patience in this.
Yes.
It's really, and I don't want to get too technical about bass playing. So a lot of basses have dual pickups. So they'll have a front and a back pickup. And when you toggle between them, you can create different tones. And through a lot of this Gamehenge set in general, Mike is playing on his back pickups a lot, which give a very twangy, poppy sound. It almost, to me, at times when I hear this, he does it a lot in 94, and I feel like he's almost on a different bass, which there's no way to reference whether he is or isn't, so I don't think he is. I think he's just pulled all the way on his back pickups. But I think it does establish a very unique Mike bass tone through the whole set, but also especially this Lizard's Tila section where there's a lot of really interesting Mike bass playing. And I think it really, it's so snappy and punchy, it really sticks out. It's really, it's really cool.
I wrote Plucky a couple times.
Yeah. Like it's got the duck a little bit,
He said I come from the land of darkness. He said I come from the land of doom. He said I come from the land of Gamehenge, the land of the big baboon. But I never am going back there. The coon is my tribe. He said I come from the land of lizards. And the lizards they have died. And the lizards they have died. And the lizards they have died. And the lizards they have died.
Oh, and that must have been really cool in that room too. And then and then we get the Tila, which
this
was great.
Begins the ballads.
Solo.
Like every ballad in this show is just spot on perfect. I remember listening to this show so many times, and this is kind of one of those Tilas for me where it's just perfect. Like, really, really great. The ending has so much energy, and you feel that emotion. I think they really carry the story through the Tila really well too.
They do. Yeah, I felt like that Tila was like breathing a little bit, like just like it was a lot of space, I guess is what I mean. And there were a couple moments where they kind of didn't push it too far and kind of backed off a little bit, and I found that to be very powerful.
Has there been a clean Tila played in the last 20 years?
Yeah. There
I feel like that.
Surprisingly, it's one of the ones that he practiced.
Oh, okay, good, because it's a hard song to play, and man, to hear them, perfectly executed within this context, it just felt good.
Yeah.
There's some songs that I feel like whenever, when they start playing them, I get a little nervous. Right. Even in the late 90s, you get a little nervous, like, uh-oh.
Oh, for sure.
Is this one dusted off, or is this one is it going to be kind of a rough ride through a lot of it? But it was one of the set highlights for me. I thought it was great.
Right. Well, interestingly enough about ballads in the late 90s is I feel like that was the most like nerve-wracking time for me. I feel like ballads have been actually pretty good in 3.0. There are like rough sections and bigger compositions, but ballads in general tend to fare really well in 3.0. But sometimes they would really stretch it out in the late 90s, and then oftentimes the composed section of ballads could just be a disaster. But then once they hit the jam or the pretty part, the instrumental section, it's incredible. And I can think of a few ballads in the late 90s where just like I just like fast forward to like just when they get past the kind of composed stuff, and then they just go into these like transcendent extended, because if you're playing like a Fast Enough for You that goes 9 minutes as opposed to 6, those 3 minutes are pretty powerful. But sometimes that first section can be challenging. So.
Yes. Yes.
Anyhow, love that. And then we get into the Wilson. So we're kind of I guess
I just had a moment at this
ahead.
Wilson at the beginning, because it's pre-Wilson chant, really.
Right. Yeah.
And there's this one guy who's like clapping along in full volume, just screaming, Wilson! Just one guy. Yeah. And you can hear him way in the background. It really made me laugh out loud.
I love those moments.
I don't know. The audience thought something. These recordings are, leave a little bit to be desired.
Right.
I wish everything was officially released. It's kind of cool to sometimes hear different things. And in this show, there were some moments of audience, I think, that actually lended a really cool texture to the show. Right. And this was one of them. I thought that was really, really funny.
I agree. And it was a cool Wilson.
Good energy.
But it wasn't a blowout. It was just kind of tight, and it fit within the context of the Gainsham story. Like, it was more like, because sometimes they play Wilson and they're like, this is going to be our big rock song. I didn't feel that about this. I just felt like it was in the context of the story.
Yeah, this set really plays well into the context of the story. I don't think, without being huge jams anywhere, it just really, it tells a beautiful story. It's not a very long set. And I thought the narration was pretty tight and compact and moved the story along. It was well done.
Right. And then we get on to the AC/DC bag, which the audience, this was another moment where I felt like the audience was pretty excited about this call. They got loud, and then I can't remember if Trey said something, but Trey seemed to be kind of like, maybe it was his playing in the beginning. It kind of had an extra, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oomph.
And it was a big energy version, big ending, like really, really well done. It's got that swirl at the end, where it just feels like a giant whirlwind going around the room.
Yeah, exactly. Some cool percussion elements in it.
And then we move on from the AC/DC bag to the Forbin's Mockingbird, which, we've talked about Mockingbird a bunch of times, and I love what a small storytelling suite these kind of two songs are, but this middle section of Mockingbird just smokes, man. It's another one of those songs where when it's played clean and tight like this, it is wild stuff.
Yeah, it's very powerful.
and visually representative of the subject matter, which, like, how many bands are doing that kind of thing? Like,
Right.
this is a suite with the tumbling rocks falling down the mountain, and then the stress of climbing and then reaching the top, and then the book, and then this bird taking off and the bird in flight. Like, it's it's a visual, 2-song combo. And
absolutely. That's why you got to close your eyes. But this is, like when people kind of critique Phish's songwriting, I feel like maybe in a way it's songs like this, because it's like, it's not like a traditional song. It's a way of representing a story and sound. And I get the feeling that these critics and these people that say this, like, probably didn't listen to a lot of classical music, because I feel like classical music is that very much, or Broadway music.
Sure.
That's what it is. It's different than kind of like using sound as a way to prop up poetry, which is traditionally, how I think a lot of our culture views songs. I guess I'm a little defensive of the Phish critique this week. It happens when you're online. You read stupid shit from people that are really just trying to get a rise out of you. It's not like I really get a rise out of it, but it's hard not to think of a defense of it, in your own head at least. And this is my outlet for that.
As I've gotten older, I really have a calmness about letting everyone know, like, I'm a giant fan of this band.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I dislike lots of bands you dislike too. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I just find this to be one of the bands of all bands.
Right.
For really good reason. And it's one thing to convince someone that's into the band, but I've given up trying to convert, and I'm just like, this band just fucking rules. And if you don't welcome them into your life and your heart, then you're just missing out on something in life. And I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's
like, I'll try if you're open to it, but if you're not open, I don't have that time.
It's fascinating to me that people like hold it against like it's a personality flaw, because I've worked with people that just like every time I saw them, it was like, Phish sucks, which says a lot more about their personality than it does about mine, obviously. But it's still like weird to fall in love with something that is can be this prickly in pop culture. Like, it's just one of these things that that people like to pick on for no reason, I guess. I
mean, I have no when I was 16 or 17, I saw the Dave Matthews Band open for a band called The Samples in Boston.
Sure,
and I saw them on a multiple bill out in Western Mass with, it was Big Head Todd and the Monsters, and then there was someone else. And then
almost the Horde Festival.
This was around when the first record came out. And I was like, oh, this band's kind of cool. And even before the second record came out, I was done and I'm over it. And I have no idea why this man has hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're the largest grossing touring act. And, I've played in a really amazing drummer I played with who I really love. He still goes on tour with them and loves them.
Yeah.
I have no interest. I don't specifically think people that like that band are bad.
No,
I just could care less. Like, it's not music for me. And I don't have enough time in my life for all the music. So that's one that I'm happy to miss out on.
That's
but I'm not going to insult those people.
Because Dave just played with Phish in Mexico, and I think I told you I really enjoyed his sit-in with them, because I love that song, The Maker, and they did a great version of that. And then they played one of his songs, and Trey added a very Tila-like solo to the end of it that was very pretty. But actually, I'm kind of like you, where I really liked the Dave Matthews Band, the first three, like up to Crash, and then I was kind of unsure about the one that came after that. And kind of like checked in with them periodically. But yeah, they definitely fell into that Phish category of being kind of like uncool. They were sort of like for the straight hippies, and then Phish was like for the real hippies. And so they kind of filled that role. But I re-listened to, they have like a ton of live shows on Spotify, like Pearl Jam or like Phish or The Dead. And so I did some research. I'm like, oh, well, what's like an amazing Dave Matthews Band concert from over the years that I didn't hear at the time. I think I listened to one from 2000. And I listened to like a good hour and a half of it, and it was smoking. It was great, but like when it was over, there was no desire to listen to more. I didn't have like, I'm like, oh, I gotta listen to more Dave Matthews Band. It definitely wasn't that, but it was kind of cleansed my palate in terms of hating on them as I've been trained to, by snobs, which I try not to be, but it can be difficult.
Well, you just got to go deep tracks only.
Deep tracks,
especially when you're on the roller rink, especially just deep tracks only. I get it. To be such a punching bag. I mean, I'm not a fan, but also like I have no beef.
Right.
But to be even a bigger punching bag to the world than Phish is, I'm assuming. I don't know. People get so mad when something becomes popular and people like it, and they're just so mad they don't like it.
Right.
Like, just let people like stuff. It's okay.
Yeah.
As long as it's not hurting anyone else, which I'm assuming that band's not hurting anyone else in many ways, and they're making people happy, just let them do their thing, and I'll just keep them out of my life, and it's fine.
I guess what I don't understand is, like, whenever there's like a big phenomenon, I'll go and check it out, and almost never do I listen to it and think to myself, I have no idea why people like this. I always know why people like it. I can acknowledge that I'm not that person, but I know why people like it. Like, you can listen to K-pop and be like, yeah, I fucking totally understand why people are listening to this music. Or, Beyonce or Slayer or whatever. But yeah, it doesn't... Anyway, wow, I'm like Mr. Tangent tonight. Apologies, everybody. Reeling it back in. Got my fishing pole. Reeling it back
both
in.
A Beyonce and Slayer fan. I just don't like Dave Matthews. All right, moving from the Foreman's Mockingbird to Sloth, which I don't know. There were some sloppy moments. I'm such a Sloth fan.
Yeah.
This one was a little but I thought the way it's fits into the story I thought was great.
Right.
And then McGrupp.
Wonderful.
Short, tight.
Yeah, loved it.
I'm really looking forward to getting into some of those 97 McGrupps once we get there, because this song really took on a life of its own at that point. But these little tight ones are great too. I really enjoy it.
Well, it's funny because the later ones that you're talking about aren't really that much longer. but like I said before, sometimes 90 seconds can make all the difference.
Yeah, and in a song that has such a long, structured part and is very storytelling, when it hits that end section, if it just fades out or if it has an extra minute or two, I do really think it matters.
Right. So McGrupp, and then we got Divided Sky to close it off.
Yeah, in all the Gamehenges, they do start and end with some different songs.
Yeah.
I did a little research on them and just found that interesting. There's only 5, so it's, there's not a lot of material to go through. But the Divided Sky closer, I thought, was a really nice choice.
Yeah, it's a nice choice. I feel like it is a very fitting closer for it. I mean, it's instrumental, and it makes you imagine the outdoors. It kind of fits in with the composition style of the other songs. So, yeah. This
was a great high-energy version, too. I thought really good. And a quick, tight set of music that just goes everywhere.
Right.
Is really great. The Dungeons and Dragons of Phish. It's beautifully done.
Well, it's time for set break. Probably smoke a few bowls. Let's hit the restroom.
Yeah, I would be pretty excited chatting with my friends that we just saw, thousands of shows this band's played, one of 5.
Right.
So, and really one of 3 in the modern era. So, pretty exciting.
And I honestly think that Phish was feeling triumphant at this moment.
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah, like I think this is not an easy thing to pull off. From what I know about Mike, he's not a huge fan of Gamehenge, so it may have been sort of like, he had to be his arm twisted a little bit, but it all came together well, and I feel like they did a beautiful job with it. And I feel like when they come back out for the second set to play Julius, I think they're like very excited, or to play Hoist, but they're going to open with Julius because that's the first song on the album. I think they're very excited, in part, to be playing this new music, and to be kind of sharing it. And I think they're also kind of like, oh, we got through the hard part. We got through the composition stuff where we have to pay attention and tell the story and do everything right. And now we get to this new material that's much more rocking, that we feel very comfortable with. Here we go. Let's play. And I feel like this Julius is like a full release, total blowout. Like, I feel like by the time this Julius ended, my body was just like frantic. Like, there were like all the neurons in my body were like, like I was like, what are they playing right now? So I enjoyed the Julius very much. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I did too. And I mean, to be a band that they just spent months and months trapped in a studio, tinkering away at little tiny pieces of these songs, listening to them hundreds of times over, and having been in a couple studios for very short periods of time, nothing like what real bands go through.
Yeah.
It's exhausting, and you just spend so much time, and you're burnt out on these songs in certain ways. You're burnt out on the studio version of the song,
right?
So to get out on stage and to do it, and I think it's really cool in this set to really hit it like the album,
right?
I think it really showcases, just a way to be more freewheeling and let loose. And in many ways, probably they were testing, like, what if we were to just, go to the studio, work hard, record everything, sure, but then go out on stage and perform the whole album as a set. Yeah. Is it better?
Right.
In its own way? Or can it stand up as a juxtaposition to the recorded music? Because it was recorded in April. Or it came out in April, I believe.
Right.
So it was recorded through the winter, spring. And Julius had only been played a handful of times. So to really get out and stretch this one out, it was great. The swing was great. The ending, they really tear up the ending.
Yeah, and Mike just like holding steady with that walking bass line, like never giving it up and just like making Trey work around it. Yeah, it had a great groove to it.
Yeah, and we... Julius being the opener, and I think this being a nice way to bridge this gap between sets, Ian and I decided that Julius was going to be the song that we dug into this week,
right?
Or this episode. And I had such a good time.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, you would think you go and listen to 25, 30 Julius versions, they're all going to be the same. I mean, there is a similarity to it. But there's just some really different ones out there. I found what might be one of my favorites of all time, potentially. I didn't remember, and I can't ever remember listening to. I found one that I hadn't listened to in forever. I had a great time, and there was... Whittling it to 3 was hard. My list was about 7.
Yeah, it was hard, actually. End. Yeah.
So I'm assuming we're going to have different ones this time, which makes me really happy. And a couple honorable mentions, too, probably. And I'm not going to go chronological.
I texted you before about favorites. It, and because I was like kind of asking you about it, and you're like, it's kind of hard to parse. And I think that
I was being coy too.
It was very well put, because like as you were listening to him, I mean, there were so many just like incredible blowout solos from Trey. And then but it's like, what are you looking for? Like in a way, is it like a one line hook that's really memorable? Is it the groove of it? Is it the ultimate, the intensity of the build? Like there's a lot of things to consider in the song. Even though it's like a real simple, straight ahead sort of like blues build. I did find that there was not a ton of variety, but I don't know. A lot of great versions. Strong song.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I didn't get to a lot of versions where I was like, well, that wasn't any good. They were all pretty great. So
yeah, I agree.
All right, well, you started
pretty universal. All right. Well, I knew I needed one from that 97-98 stretch. We both in 97 and 98 saw amazing versions at the Gorge.
Right.
And both of those were kind of close to I wanted a really clean, classic, version from that stretch.
Right.
I thought they were playing great then, and I thought Julius really was in a great period at that time. But after listening to a bunch, I ended up choosing 7/23/97 at Lakewood Amphitheater in Atlanta.
That's interesting. Okay, well, we'll disagree on this one, but yeah, okay, cool. Well, I chose the Gorge, so let's go.
Which Gorge?
The 97.
The third?
The 97 is superior to 98.
I agree. The 98 one's so big and plodding, but it's still really fun.
Yeah.
This is considered by a lot to be the best singular Type 1 Julius.
Right.
I know, I mean, I don't believe that kind of stuff, but up till about 9 minutes, it is Julius. It's really, really well done. It's the show opener. They are obviously really excited, playing great. But then after 9 minutes, everything kind of breaks down a little bit.
Yeah.
And it falls into this delicate, gentle swing that really spends another 4 minutes or so until it really builds and peaks massively. So I felt like you could skip to about 9 minutes in this and just listen from that to the end.
Right.
And it is absolute peak Phish. And the build is over the top, and it is to open a show this way, just out of the gates. I mean, this whole show is great, but I'd forgotten this one, and it blew me away.
Right. It was amazing.
Julius.
Definitely on my honorable mention. And I agree with everything you're saying. I guess I would say I chose the Gorge one because it is the swing part that I love so much. And that's the reason why I love the Julius's from this period, is the swing aspect of it, because they slow it down a little bit.
They really got the groove.
And it starts earlier in the Gorge. It starts at like 7 minutes. They're already kind of like slowing it down to the swing. And then they, instead of having that kind of like quiet part that is in 723, it has like the kind of more staccato rhythmic kind of break. And that's like a little bit different. But yeah, I think kind of like as a juxtaposed to you saying in 723 to open with that Julius is like crazy to open that way. Well, this Julius that I picked opens the second set at the Gorge. And you got to figure this is their their first shows at the Gorge, and everybody's kind of like, this is the Gorge, the second set opener. It's going to be a huge 2001. It's going to be a giant You Enjoy Myself. And it was like Julius. And I remember the size. I remember people just being like, ugh, freaking Julius to open the second set at the Gorge. But then they just played so incredibly and just played what a version. So yeah, I guess I'll take attendance bias on this or whatever, but I still think it's an incredible Julius. Cool.
Yeah, I had a really fun time that night, and I remember that Julius well.
Yeah,
it was great.
Okay, number 2.
Yeah, It was a good period. Yeah, like I said, mine aren't chronological, but you go.
Oh, okay.
You're on number 2.
Well, at the risk of, I'm assuming we're going to be talking about this very, very soon. But I got to go with the Big Birch 7/13, 1994. It's kind of a short but sweet Julius. But if you kind of count the last little section of the tweezer that goes into the Julius, which is very Julius-like, and then the section out of Julius that goes transitions back out, it's just amazing to me. I mean, I've listened to it a million times, and I just get lost in it. There's so much going on. There's so much intricacies. There's so much energy. I fucking love that version. And it's kind of funny because when I was looking at these Juliuses, I was like, how is this 5-minute and 40-second Julius going to compare with a 10-minute blowout Julius? And for my money, it absolutely does. So 7/13 is my second choice.
If one is to go to a bar and one is to say, I would like an orange Julius, that makes sense. I mean, I know you're not a drinking man, but you know, if I'm going to the bar and I'm going to order like 4, is it orange Julius's or is it Julii?
Julii.
Because I would believe Julius's, but that's a mouthful, and I think Julii would be a better way to describe this as a plural. But anyway,
grammatically, but I think from the bartender's perspective, they would be more likely to understand you if you said Julius's.
I love that choice of that Julius because we're getting into different ones here, and that was my hope.
Nice.
That I'm so excited to listen to Big Birch again. It's been so long, and it's 2 shows away now. So episode 21 will be that, and we'll dive deep.
Cool.
Because that wasn't on my listen to list, so I'm very excited.
Oh, great, good.
But my second one was also from 94. And I remember we were very good friends with a taper. And there was a stretch that Phish played in December on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So we're out at the event center in San Jose, California.
Ooh.
And 12/3/94, I remember getting these tapes and I wanted them so bad.
Yeah.
Because my Phish dream that has yet to be realized and never will, it's one of them. I never wanted to see Gamehenge. I wasn't one of those. I wish, but I didn't die for it. What I died for was a fucking horns tour.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see them with horns more than anything.
Oh, I know.
And here they were out in LA. This entire set too is with horns, and it is leaked as a soundboard. So
really?
12/3/94 is Julius.
Where did you get the soundboard at? I actually didn't listen to that one, so I'm excited to listen to that one now.
You can find it.
Yeah.
It's with the cosmic country horns, not the giant country horns.
Right.
And I remember living in San Diego and getting these tapes, and we used to listen to this set. I remember the first set having some great music too, but we would listen to this all the time.
Yeah.
And it is a tight, clean, Julius with horns.
Right.
The first Julius they ever played live in that April 94 was also with horns, and it just lives with horns. It's how the album version is. It just, for me, really, really, really makes a lot of sense, and it's such a cool, lively, just great version that stood alone from all these other Julii that we listened to.
Wake up in the morning.
Right, I'm glad you chose that because there was a part of me that was thinking about choosing the studio version, which is a cop out, but I do think it's fucking amazing.
It's great.
Yeah,
and I just love all the background singers. And
yeah.
I mean, we could talk honorable mentions for a while. Where I was at New Year's '96 and I saw the Boston Community Choir that they were with.
Right.
And that was fun. It was great, but I don't know. That show had some ups and downs. But I thought for Julius it was great. It didn't make the list for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was the horn version for me.
Cool. Well, what's your final?
My final, I'm hoping that this one is one that'll sneak up on you because I'd read, I was reading through different Julii and trying to find ones that people had talked about, people discussed. And this one is from the first of a 3-night run in fall of 95 at the Fox Theater back in Atlanta.
Yeah.
It is 11/9/95.
Yeah.
This 3-night run is smoking top to bottom. It's one of those runs of Phish that I would have just died to be at. Every show has highlights. Every non-highlight song is played really, really, really well. And I was like, all right, 95 Julius and 95 Phish was more frenetic even than 94 aggressive Phish. And holy shit, this is like second song, second set. So where it falls in the show is kind of a, that's a big spot.
Yeah, that's the spot. Yeah.
And it is, I think, the biggest peak Julius has ever reached.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Just shrieking, screaming energy. It is over the top Trey. This is the Trey blowout, but also the whole band. It's like, it is a goddamn freight train at the top.
Yeah.
And like you're just left floored.
Right.
It's the over the top guitar god Julius version, but done so well.
Right.
And, I went and listened to all the ones that, there's the one jammed out Julius. Don't know if it'll be yours, but the 12/5/97.
Yeah.
Where it's like 12 or 13 minutes long.
Yeah.
15 minutes.
It's like 17 minutes, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess right after it is the only ever jammed out Slave to the Traffic Light, maybe too. I was not blown away with that, Julius. Although I thought it was good.
Yeah, I the same way. I wasn't blown away, but it deserves an honorable mention because there were some pretty killer sections, and it was a great jam, but it wasn't like Julius-y.
Yeah, and I thought the 10-31 2010 with Giovanni on percussion also awesome. There was like some like notable ones because they were different.
Right.
But for me, I thought this one really sealed the over the top Julius solo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a go-to like Guitar God.
Did you listen to the 10-24-95 show?
Yes.
Yeah, because that was another one that was kind of like that sort of like Guitar God, but I haven't listened to that one, so I'm all over 12-9-95 after we're done with this.
This was my hope, was we'd dig a little and find some fun ones.
Yeah. So okay, well I'll give you my should I give you my final and then we'll do honorable mentions, or
sure?
Okay. Well, my final will be 7-10-97, which is the France one, which is just an unusual. Mm-hmm. It's an unusual set. The band's in an unusual mood. Like every song is like, wow, we're really mixing this up a little bit. So and it's got that swing. I really, like I said before, I'm a sucker for that Julius swing. So 7-10-97, super fun, kind of funny, got some nice breakdown in it. And then my honorable mention is 8-11-98, which is an official release. It's like the Trenchtown Rock Julius, I believe, is the opener of the show. And it is kind of like the Gorge 97 one. It's a little bit slower, but it has like just like a cool, really, it just makes me happy. Just a happy, happy jam.
It sounds so good.
Oh,
like this is what I mean about official releases. Is you put that on like on a booming system, and it's just a big warm hug. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, I think that was my issue with like because the 723 or whatever with the Ryzen 723 is an official release so that was it was tough to compare with the Gorge because the Gorge sounded kind of shitty, but anyway,
I know.
So what's your honorable...
official release them all?
what's your honorable mention?
I think mostly it was the 12-5-97, the long one. I thought was interesting.
Yeah,
I did enjoy the 10-31 2010. Yeah, that was good.
But Trey is just, I mean, I have like tonal problems with Trey, and I
agreed.
Yeah.
I was trying. There were like, there was a 2011 that was supposedly great, 914. I listened to that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I'm unabashedly a 1.0. And if it's 2.0 or 3.0, it's got to be something special for me. And I've really enjoyed shows from those eras. I'm not trying to.
No, I remember seeing live shows in like 2009, 10, 11, and every time they would play Julius, I would be like, "Damn, that was awesome." And I think that their sound in 3.0 does have that kind of like huge, full sort of. There was something about seeing it live. Yeah.
Page is playing really, really good during. Every one of those as well. So it just, they were good. All of them, I didn't listen to a bad one. They were all fabulous. Really great.
Well, Julius, there it is. Back to the hoist.
Yeah, and sadly, this version from this show would not be on my list, even though it was amazing.
Yeah, well, yeah, totally. Yeah, it was an amazing standard 94 version. Yeah.
But somehow didn't make the, the 3, which is fine.
Yeah.
And then in true fashion of the album, moves to Down with Disease.
Yeah.
I thought with the flow of this set, this was going to be a bigger jam than it was.
Right.
And there's a couple parts of this set that seem to pull back from that a little, and this was one of them.
Right.
It's weird. Like right around 6 minutes, there's like a 30-second section where it breaks down a little bit, and I'm like, oh, all right, now we're gonna get the jam. It has that feeling of like the ears just open up in the band,
right,
and then instantly it's out,
right.
And it goes to Peak Mountain and it's gone. So it was a weird choice. It was a conscious choice to not push it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it was almost like they made a decision not to jam at the beginning of the show. Or so. I don't know. But I felt it too. I thought it was good. I thought it was high energy and it was satisfying. I don't think it had as strong of a hook or a melodic pull as 618. I mean, not even close.
Agreed.
But I do think, like, after listening to it and kind of thinking about the context of the time, that it still is, like, making a very strong case for being their most exciting new song. Like, I think if you were, in the audience, you would be like, that's the song. So even though from, like, a retrospective standpoint, we're looking at it and being like, well, Down with Disease wasn't anything particularly special. If I was at this show in 94, I would have been blown away.
Yeah, and we'll get into more of the songs later in the set that do go on to be bigger songs that disappoint a little bit, but this one doesn't disappoint. You would expect it to be more of a bigger jam in the set, and it wasn't, but it was still great.
Right.
And it climbs Peak Mountain well, and it has a big ending, and people are psyched at the end. I would think.
Yeah.
And then moves into what I think is one of the songs of the show.
Absolutely.
Hands down.
Let's tell this beautiful story, Sam. There was a night where we got, I think it must have been we got the CDs of this from Ken. And we decided to, does that sound right? And we decided, or maybe this was analog tape era.
You got them.
Yeah.
From Ken.
Right.
Because I think I had analog tapes of this, but
we did.
They were just garbage.
Right.
And I think that you got them from Ken.
Right. And
because I somehow remember that you bringing them back and it was your handwriting. But,
fair enough. Okay,
it was a lot of years ago. And when you're hanging at Ken's house, Ken was our friend who did a lot of tape trading and recording. You would hang out and he'd burn them when you were there,
right?
And then sometimes he'd do it for you and you just pick them up. He was he was really into all the bands that I was in too. Like he was just a great guy.
Captain Shook, if you're out there, we love you. You're the best.
Just a good human being all around.
Awesome.
Love that man. And he had that great little house in Ocean Beach. I just loved hanging out there after work. Really nice guy.
And he lived just a few in the same complex as our pod dealer. It was very convenient. Anyhow, we had a little Oki-Pa ceremony the night we got those CDs. We decided to listen to the show with our eyes closed. I believe we just kind of like did the hoist, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But I do remember we like listened to this If I Could, or my eyes were closed, and I'm so moved. I mean, I'm so moved by this If I Could. It's it's tapping into like feelings of lost love and just, I mean, it's just tearing my heart out. And I open my eyes, I've got tears rolling down my face, and I look over at you and you have tears rolling down your face. And we just like look at each other. We're just like, this Phish ballad just made us cry simultaneously. That's music, folks.
It just did it to me again this week. Like, this is one of my go-to ballads. It's and we've talked about how good this song is in this era, and you know, I've mixed in a lot of like, here's the solo from this song because more people need to love it into this podcast. But I mean, this one's the one for me.
Yeah,
it is just perfect, and you know, the way it drops to just Page, and then when the band comes in, you know, Fishman's little drum roll is perfect. And then Mike just hits the single notes, and the way that it's that the minute it hits, you feel a breeze blow over you when there's no air moving.
Right.
And it's just all of the hairs on your body standing up.
Yeah.
It's pure goosebumps every time. And I mean, I recommend anyone, if you're not feeling interconnected to the universe or to nature or to the world or the people around you, you can just go to directly right when the jam section of this begins, hit play and close your eyes and you're there. Like, it is wonderful.
I wouldn't even hesitate, and I know this is probably crazy, but if I was forced with the gun to the head to make a list of 10 Phish moments that define my love for Phish, this, if I could, is on that list. Because it's the ballad moment. I can't think of any other ballad or slow, beautiful section that affects me quite like this one. There's something about the way they're like playing with each other, like the way that Mike and Phish are like locked in, just like hitting it perfect, and then Trey is like flying like an unscorched Icarus. He's just like he's just fucking out there, and just pure emotion, and it just amazing.
Yeah, and Trey really holds back for an extended period of time and really lets Page kind of push.
Right.
And I feel like the tension built is huge. And there's a lot of if I coulds that Trey doesn't push his solo over the top. It kind of it's lots of chords, and then he's outlining the chords with singular notes, but not really solos.
Right.
This one does that and builds and builds and builds and builds, and then he solos on top of it.
Right.
So it's that 11 after that where you think it's a 10 already. And it is. Yeah, it's pushing roofs out of buildings and moving to outer space. It's the ballad show, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Well, okay, I don't think we can give it much more kudos than that. Okay, so
nope.
Moving on from If I Could, Axela, part 2 with the little ending jam, which I adore.
We start getting, there's a bunch of songs in here that we're 19 episodes in that we haven't got to talk about. This is one of them.
Yeah.
I love this song.
Yeah.
It's just one of those just rock and roll, like stadium rock Phish songs.
Right.
And they were playing big theaters at this point and some stadiums. And I feel like this song was just perfectly written for that. It was great. And I'm a 2/1 fan. I when they would switch back to Axela version 1, which is the same song with different lyrics, I like this one a lot more.
Well, I personally think that, like, I never knew what my body was for. That's why I leave it laying out on the floor. It's such a potent line, especially for the audience that they're singing to. I mean, let's face it, at this point in their career, they're singing to an audience that was pretending to take care of their body and not taking care of their body at all. I mean, these are like hippies that are like, oh, I'm eating granola, but I'm taking acid and sleeping 2 hours a night. And,
Yeah.
So it's an interesting audience, but that's how I read that line. I'm sure that's not how it was intended, but like whenever I hear it, I always kind of think about almost like that Paul Simon song on his first album about like, you can't keep treating your body that way. But and then the like ending section on the album that Don't Shine That Light in My Face, Man, even though it's just like a short little vignette on the album, it's one of my favorite parts of the album. I think it's so catchy.
Yeah, very cool.
Like that little thing gets stuck in my head all the time, and it's always been my dream to catch an Axela 2 with the jam. I never have. I believe you have, though, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. And this one, the way it flows into Lifeboy, again, the ballad show, was really one of the cooler improvising sort of jamming sections of the show.
Right.
I thought it gelled really beautifully, and that transition is just great.
Right.
And touching back lyrically, I guess 94, 95 for me, I was a junior, senior high school, graduating, moving across the entire country from New England to California, leaving everything behind. And there's a number of lyrics on this and this album really was important to me at that time in my life.
Yeah.
And seeing Phish in general, I mean, my first show was a week after this. 2 weeks after this. It was a really important time in my life, and this band connected to it a lot. And I thought some of the lyrics really spoke to where I was. And I think the summer sitting out by the pool line, my family had this little pool out behind the barn. And then in Demand, the driving home to mom and dad for a weekend with no cares, that's what it was like leaving college and going home was like, I'm going to sit on the couch for a while. And they're just these lyrics that really spoke to the time in life that I was in.
Yeah.
And I thought it was, there's a lot of Tom Marshall lines, and I thought, shout out to Tom. There's some really great stuff in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Really great. That is underappreciated. Axela and Demand, I don't think and Dogface Boy, I don't think these are songs that everyone immediately goes to show off Tom Marshall's skills, but for me, they really are.
That's a good point.
They really are. Yeah. Smooth transition into Lifeboy.
Our second blowout ballad, which is also incredible. I mean, it's maybe a hair below If I Could. I feel like If I Could has some sort of special magic that sets it just a touch higher than the Lifeboy for me, but it's still absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I almost, the ending is really patient and gorgeous. There's a lot of patience in this set, but there's the band interplay after the, you don't get a refund if you overpray line, where it's just such delicate little interplay between the verses.
You don't get a refund if you overpray.
There's so much space in this version. It really gets me.
Right.
The band never has to rush. They're not filling any space. They're trying to leave it open. And I was really impressed. It was great.
It could be that it's just as good of a performance as the If I Could, but I like If I Could maybe just a little bit more. I'm willing to admit that.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
The If I Could is more of a singular monster, whereas this is just the patience really makes me excited.
Yeah.
It's not as go-to, but I just like how calm it is.
And then Wolfman's Brother was a totally different beast.
You skipped Sample in a Jar,
my bad.
which
I skipped Sample.
My only comment was solid. There's a couple of those.
We
can skip Sample and Son of a Mule, because I thought both were just
Yeah. Agreed.
Which surprised me. Son of a Mule could really have been something in this set, and I thought they just blew through it.
Yeah, kind of like in a way like Down with Disease, or just kind of like, let's just play it like it is on the album. That's what we're doing here. So.
Yeah, and the Sample in a Jar was good, but I mean, we're about to hit, I think, 7/8 and 7/16 Sample in a Jars are just fucking unbelievable. So,
right.
Wolfman's. We could talk a long time about this. This was the 9th version of the song that they'd ever played.
Right.
And I feel like, in retrospect, it's hard to look at Wolfman's Brother like pre-97 and post-97, right?
Like different songs.
Because, I mean, I remember being at Ventura in 97 and just going, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, it was a whole different thing in that first set. And I really feel like they have a hard time finding the groove in this version.
Right.
It's a little off kilter. I do like the breakdown acapella finish. I thought was really great.
Me too.
But hard time finding the groove. But I tried to listen to it without ears that knew where the song is going to go in the future.
Right. I think it's a very catchy song, and I still think it's like it still works really well in the set, where it's at and in the album. And it is it's a white groove, it kind of is that sort of it's a white, unsoulful version of a Stax kind of song or something like that. But as, a kind of unrhythmic white guy myself, it works for me. And I like it. I mean, I'm glad Wolfman went where it went, but because there aren't that many versions of the early version, I mean, I guess there are, but when I think in terms of how many released versions there are that I hear on the regular, I tend to think of that, was it 6/6? The Joyous Lake show that has the acapella deal. I like it. It's a nice treat. But if I'm thinking about trying to choose an amazing Wolfman's Brother, am I going here? No, but I still very enjoyable.
Yeah, I like that they're bringing this kind of New Orleans feel, with Julius is sort of a straight ahead swing blues, which, like I've told you, I think replaces LaGrange in their set list. And then Wolfman's Brother is bringing more of a New Orleans, I always hear the brass in the background.
Right.
Trombone. I kind of get that vibe every time I hear it.
Right.
So they're bringing new elements and new styles of music to their sound, which make me excited. And then, stadium rock with Axela.
Right.
This is such a cool, underrated record, too.
Yes.
I think going out to LA and recording it. I mean, there's a movie. What's it called? Tracking?
Tracking, yeah.
There's a movie about making this you can go watch on YouTube. That's really cool to watch.
Yeah.
Also, I couldn't find it, but maybe I will and plug it in here. I know in that extended 98 interview with David Byrne, they discussed this show. I don't remember what they discuss about this show.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember that either. On Sessions 54th, is that what that was called?
Yeah, but there's like the released version, and then there's an extended version of that interview, I guess. It's much longer. I probably should watch that and
okay.
edit that in here.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to ask about the Halloween concerts, of course.
Okay.
I think, I'll make a little summary. I think when one of your Halloween concerts some years back, you decided to surprise the fans, and you did the Beatles' White Album, I think, top to bottom.
Yep.
And they apparently, no one knew. Well, I'm sure some people knew, but most of the audience didn't know this was coming. They didn't.
No, yeah, we kept it pretty good.
Yeah. But of course, the next year they were expecting something like that.
Right.
And I think next year you did the Quadrophenia record. Mm-hmm. And then you did a record that I was involved with, which was kind of a surprise for me, too. And it's kind of ambitious. And it's... What made you decide to do that?
We did a show in somewhere down south about a year before that first Halloween show. And because we have this habit of mixing up the set lists, we thought it would be kind of a shock to play our own album, which was Hoist, was the album, exactly as it, normally we improvise and everything. So for one set, it was the most shocking thing we could do. So we
actually play the album in its entirety.
So we played the whole album top to bottom exactly as it lay on plastic. And afterwards, we were talking to some fans, and we were jokingly boasting, we'll play any album ever recorded. And that gave us the idea that the next Halloween, well, let's do that as a musical costume. So we did the White Album.
And actually what happened was we did put out the word that we wanted fans to vote on what album to do. And they didn't. It was a secret. That's what album we ended up doing. But it was their vote from some letters so it was a challenge.
The first 2 years were votes. That was what it was. We said we'll do any album, and this somebody I was talking to. The third year was our choice. That was Remain
kind of flattering to me. Yeah.
But it's a lauded on show. But yeah, the Wolfman's ads, and then the Scent of a Mule, like we said, was kind of blown over, and then Dog-Faced Boy.
Yeah.
Which is Dog-Faced Boy. It's very, very cool and short.
Yeah.
I like that on Phish's albums they put songs that are very rarely played.
Right.
Which also Demand, the next song, very rarely played. Only a handful of times, I think.
It's true. Dog-Faced Boy, though, and I think we mentioned this last time, it does tend to pop up in special places. Like, when they do play it, it's generally not just like, let's just play Dog-Faced Boy. It tends to be like at a special moment in the show, and they kind of plug it in there very much like Catapult, which I like. Yeah.
Yeah, I always thought, I feel that way about Train Song, too.
Oh, Train Song, yeah.
Like, I love that song so much, and it pops up in random places and shows when I really need a breather. And it just gives me, a nice breath of fresh air. It's really great.
Yeah. Demand is an amazing song. I love Demand, and I thought it was amazingly performed in this show.
It just has a storytelling. The lyrics are so unique for them, and the way that it's told, it's beautiful. I wish it came out. It was played more.
Yeah,
I would like that.
Absolutely.
I just think it was 95 was the last time it was ever played, so it's got a lot of time on the shelf.
Yeah, that's true. And then they transition it into the Split Open and Melt Jam, which is just from a history perspective, they were playing Split for a while without the sort of ending jam that we've come to know and love. And then they kind of stumbled upon it. I can't remember exactly what show it was. Was it?
It was 93 at some point.
Yeah, and so they
was a very specific show.
They stumbled upon it.
They cut that into the album.
Right.
And this I thought was the jam of the set.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
as far as meaty improv goes. And I do think they did a good job trying to mirror the jam they put into the album.
Oh, for sure.
I thought it was cool. It was very, very cool.
Yeah, it felt very like they were doing a legitimate cover. And then to finish it up with Jerusalem Shel Zahav was kind of like an exclamation point. Like, we just played something special for you. Let us acknowledge that with this lovely prayer.
Yeah, this used to... So it translates to... I did small research because I was like, I remember hearing this song and in the Phish repertoire for a really short period, and it turns out it was just about a year that they were playing it and it was gone. Translates to Jerusalem of Gold, and it was written... let me see. It was only played 12 times. And it was written to play in the streets of Jerusalem by a Israeli pop star.
Uh-huh.
And supposedly if you go there, when the bells toll in Jerusalem for a stretch, they would play this song, which I find fascinating.
Yeah.
But that it found its way into a Phish set list. I feel like these little strange connections to Judaism are so antithetical to what Phish is.
Uh-huh.
I know Mike's Jewish, but I don't know if he's a practicing Jew. But I just think that the music is gorgeous.
But I think that this I feel like I read this, but like this was one of the songs that like Mike chose so that his grandma could come to the show and like be something for her. Like I want to say like maybe Mike's grandma like put him through. I can't remember what it is, but there's a story for like this was like for the grandmother. And that's why they played it, and then it came off really well, and the band really liked it, so they played it more times. But you know, we're going to be discussing this at Great Woods at 7/8/94. So I'm gonna do the background on this, and I will come back to you with some real information.
Yeah, and that's the end of this set.
Yeah.
It's very it's if you think about the show starting with Kung and then ending with this, it's a creepy bookend.
Yeah.
Very haunting bookends. And then into the 4-song encore, which was interesting.
Yeah.
I think they were trying to tack on something at the end because the rest of the show was so stock in that Gamehenge is sort of set and Hoist is sort of set. So it was a really interesting thing to do the extended encore. And wow, the no microphones for Old Home Place and Amazing Grace that was a rough listen.
Yeah.
That volume was just up and down and people screaming and overloading everything. But washboard and accordion solos.
Yeah, I mean, this was like, they're like they do this sometimes where like capping it off with the rarities set. Because I think Tube was pretty rare at this point as well, right?
Yeah, Trey comes out before Tube and says that it's a special request from people in the audience and they haven't played it in a long time.
Yeah.
And we don't know that we remember it. We hope we don't screw it up. And then they play it.
And they play it great.
Yeah, it was really good. A little sloppy, but like real good.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. And cool that they're just still trying to dish out fun stuff for people.
Yeah. And then I thought The Fire was a great smoking ending, little rock and roll release. But
yeah,
it was cool.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it was a good I thought The Fire was the cap on the set.
Yeah.
And the show in general. Really great. And such a piece of Phish, just nostalgia wrapped into a whole show. I hadn't listened to this one in a while, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah. It was very, very fun.
Yeah, and then we're looking down the barrel of some really great kind of ending out the summer 94 shows here. So, and we're on to our 20th episode, the next one. So
wow,
I'm pumped.
And
another Gamehenge.
It's going to be 7/8. Is that the next show?
7/8's next.
Oh wow, okay.
Great Woods.
Wow, that's a trip. We're doing 2 Gamehenges in a row. Okay.
Yeah, and it's the night before my first show, and it's the second set of Lore, and I don't know. Maybe we can convince our friend Ryan to join us for at least that second set, right?
Okay, and let's discuss Reba's then.
I wrote down. I wrote that it was going to be
Stash or Reba.
It was Stash or Reba.
Great minds think alike. I'm right there with you.
Yes.
All right.
Let's keep all of our fans guessing. We'll talk that one and we'll bring it in next.
God, I almost feel like Stash is more daunting. I feel like Stash is considerably more daunting than Reba, because I feel like with Reba, like I already have like 2. I just gotta figure out the third. But
I've got all. If we're counting that one, I've got all 3.
I mean, I guess I could do all 3, but I want to leave it open because I want to have fun with it. But I mean, there's been some incredible stashes in 3.0. So that kind of makes it a little like, I'm gonna have to choose a 3.0 one. That means I have to do put some real time in. Okay, well, I'm excited.
It's daunting either way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be fun, and my official this show belongs on this list. It was great.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I had a great time with this one.
Yeah. No question. If I could alone, gets it on the list.
Yeah. Yeah. It's unfair, and I worry that I don't worry because I want every show released properly. That for some reason I'm so used to the sound of this one that if an official release comes out, that it won't quite sound the same, and it'll be changed in my eyes. But then, right. Very briefly, I remember there was this whole discussion how Trey never wanted to make money off of releasing Gamehenge at all.
Right.
So Gamehenge shows have never officially been released. And there was going to be this, like, is dating the band a little. They were trying to interwork a CD-ROM.
Right.
Remember CD-ROMs?
Oh, I totally remember this.
Music and video, and somehow there was like, it was like a children's story that went along with it that never got fleshed out. But doesn't, we're going to be discussing 7/8/94 next episode that was released as one of the Dinner and a Movie series during COVID. And it's also available on Live Phish, which is a subscription service people pay money for. So is the cat out of the bag?
Yeah, cat's out of the bag.
So we could officially release this show now. I'm just saying. Just putting it out there.
That's true. Cat is out. Kevin, cat's out of the bag. Meow.
Cat's out of the bag. And I mean, if we're doing that, then we should also release the Sacramento Gamehenge show, because although it sounds good, like, we could still upgrade that shit. And
yeah, I was a little disappointed with the most recent 99 release. I mean, I obviously love the 2001, and the Down with Disease is a real blowout of guitar heroic cock rock, and that's fun to listen to. But as a whole, I'm not totally sure why that show was chosen. I don't know if you've listened to it or not.
Yeah, I didn't like it at all. I thought that 2001 was...
way to play it cool!
I thought that the 2001 was junk.
Oh, you don't like the 2001, yeah.
I get it. I get it. I absolutely get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I did enjoy parts of the Down with Disease.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed little aspects of the show. It was fine.
Yeah.
But, fuck, man. Like, they call it the Outer Space 2001. What I did is I looked into the venue, the pyramid. It sounds really, really cool.
Yeah.
And I think it was a weird place, and everyone, including the band, got really into it. And they were like, fuck. It's an actual pyramid.
Right.
I think it's a mall now.
Yeah.
It's not a venue anymore. It's like a mall with shops. But it has the largest freestanding elevator in North America or something like that. Like that goes like right up the middle. I don't know. It seems like a really interesting, weird, silly venue, and the show kind of has some of that to it. There's charm, sure.
We talked about this. We talked about this a while ago. I remember because I don't think it's an Outer Space 2001 at all. I think it's one of the most atrocious abuses of musical technology I've ever heard put on tape. I mean, it is hilarious. Like, to me, I just cannot stop laughing because it's so obnoxious. And
it's obnoxious.
And that's why
it's
I
laugh
like
out
it.
loud.
Yeah,
yeah. It feels like, the progression through 99 and 2000. And I was someone who was on, saw a lot of shows in 99, and I was worried about the band.
Yeah.
And I was seeing cracks in the armor. And I went into New Year's 99 nervous, in Florida. I wasn't sure how those shows were going to go. The end of that fall, the end of the summer, like it was like September when that ended.
Yeah.
I did see some good shows, and I had a lot of fun. But I was a little nervous. I thought the band was not playing as good as previous years. And in 2000, there was kind of a push to we're trying, I saw some good shows then too.
Yeah.
But I I was nervous, and when they announced the first hiatus, I was very happy.
Yeah.
I thought it was the best thing that the band could do for themselves. They needed a break. And I think this show, they just had nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate. But, we're in 94 right now where, we talked the last show where this is the hardest working band in show business,
Right.
And then that 2001 is the opposite of that.
Right.
Right. It's fine. But if I put on Axela from this show for just a random music fan who's like, yeah, I've heard this Phish thing, and you put that on, you're like, oh, that's pretty rockin', man, that's cool.
Yeah.
But if I put that 2001 on, they're gonna look at you and go, what the fuck is this? This is the worst music I've ever heard.
Right.
And I'm a Phish fan, so I get it and I enjoy it to a certain point, but I'm listening to it going, what the fuck? The thousands of shows that could have been released, I'm sure there's someone out there, if we have fans, I'm sure there's someone out there who went to the show or loves the show and who's yelling and screaming, and that's fine. We're here to disagree.
Oh, people are very excited. I mean, this 2001 is the most popular 2001. I mean, I think there are a couple of people that I trust, online, that I think agree with us that the real best one is that fall 97 one. Is it 12? Is 11 night? What is the date on that one? Anyway, there's one in fall of 97 that is the one. And then the Gorge 98 gets mentioned, but people kind of shit on that one because it's a little bit boring. And then it's this one. And those are the 2001. So I think in Kevin's eyes, according to the fan base, he released the number one 2001. But yeah, I mean, we can't all agree.
Go listen to 11/30/96, 12/6/96, and then tell me that this is better. That transition before it became the giant outer space. And then there's other really great dance in 2001s. 12/29/97. No, 98.
It's 12/28.
That one.
It's 12/28/98. Is that what you're thinking of? Oh, that
soundboard release from 98.
Our listeners are going to be like, you guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
There was one when I was at Madison Square Garden. It had to have been 98. Yes, it had to have been 98 because I wasn't at 97. That was amazing. Okay. Amazing.
Yes. It was the 98 one, and it was 12/29/98.
Yeah, that's the one with the You Enjoy Myself in That Set. And
correct.
Yeah.
And
that
then,
Limb by Limb from that show. That 2001, that's a long dance funk version. Yeah. But there's no silliness like this one. It's just great.
And then this one, the 11/19/97, that's the one I was talking about.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
So
that one's also awesome.
Fishnet says, incredible from start to finish. This one has it all. Tempo changes, jazzy grooving, full band mastery, sirens, and of course, danceability. Brilliant. And you know what? One I would bring up that I'm sure that you would not is Big Cypress. I loved it. And I feel like there is something about the silkiness of Mike's bass and Fishman's drums in that one.
Sure.
Vroom, vroom, that just, oh man.
And it's long.
Woo! Gets me.
So how is this the one?
No.
Is it because
it's the facts? It's the sound effects. It's the die, 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 die. That's what it is.
I just picture I'm not going to go down this road. I was going to insult Phish fans. I'm a Phish fan. I was going to insult Phish fans. But I just picture there's a type of Phish fan who this is their fucking jam. And I've had to help them off the floor when they've fallen over our pile of bags and stuff. And I look in their eyes and it's just pure pupils and they don't know what their name is. And somehow this is their favorite fucking song. Anyway.
Sure. No, and I hear you. But I think, people like songs for different reasons. And I can honestly say that I love this 2001 because to me it's a musical joke and I love musical jokes. But I'm sure that there are people that listen to this 2001 that are like, that's the sickest fucking groove. That's the fucking raddest funk I've ever heard. And I don't agree with that.
Maybe.
So.
Also, a brief reprise. Just man up and fucking handle your drugs, people. It's just I hate amateur hour. Let's get it together. If we're going to do our things, let's do our things. Let's be adults about it. Let's know what we're taking. Let's handle it. And keep a good friend or two around to have your back, just in case, in Vegas 99. I had good friends around to have my back, so I was fine.
Yep.
I sat in Danny Beer's lap for a while. It was fun.
Shout out Danny B. Well, let's talk.
Anyway,
yeah. What's up?
That was that show.
That was the show.
I'm happy with that show.
Should we talk some recommendations?
Yeah, I don't have a lot this week, but I got one to discuss. Why don't you go? You might have more.
I don't know that I do. I'm excited for this new Smile album. I like the singles that they've released so far. It's Johnny Greenwood and Tom York. They got a new band. It's called The Smile.
Huh. That sounds cool.
Liking that. Yeah.
Did you end up listening to the Fearless Flyers?
A lot to recommend. I've been watching a lot of movies. Been trying to do like all the Oscar films. I've seen some good stuff.
West Side Story was incredible.
Loved West Side Story. I've actually seen them all now except for Belfast and Coda. Those are my final two.
Oh.
So
I heard Belfast was great.
Yeah. Drive My Car was really cool. It was 3 hours and I wasn't sure. Like when I first started watching it, I'm like, am I going to be able to do this? But I was really happy I did. And I really, really enjoyed it.
I'm all about length in film. Give me the 5-6 hours. Like if I'm good.
Yeah,
if you can tell a story
I don't mind a 3-hour film, but
fine.
Sometimes a 3-hour subtitled film is another thing.
That can be
adds another dimension.
You can take a break.
Oh, I do.
Give yourself a break. The Fearless Flyers.
Oh yeah, great.
I mean, it's like 25 minutes. But I thought that was great.
Totally.
And then it's not over yet, but it is in no way what I expected. And I wasn't sure I was going to like it as much as I did after the first episode. But now being, 7 episodes in, Our Flag Means Death is really, really great.
Oh, yeah. I have 2 episodes in. Yeah, it's so weird. Like, it's so surreal. You're like, man, the tone
it's like
of
a
the
play.
show is nutty.
Like the boats aren't on water, I don't think.
No.
It seems like it's a pool, if anything.
Yeah.
And it's very British humor play-like.
Yeah. But it's fun.
And so is Taika there yet? If you're only in episode 2? Not yet? The characters are really, really cool. And Steed Bonnet. I just really like the interaction between Murray and Taika.
Yeah.
It's been really, really great. And that's been about it.
There you have it, everyone. Okay. Well, I guess you guys go back to your lives. We'll go back to ours. It's about bedtime over here for the kiddos, so I'm going to head inside and get screamed at for a little bit.
If I'm the kiddo, it's getting close to bedtime here, too.
But all right, Deb. Well, it was great talking to you.
You too. Episode 20 is going to be a blast, too. I'm really looking forward to it. So.
Episode 20.
Yeah, we'll see all of you next time.
Okay. Bye-bye, everyone.
Yeah. Bye, everyone. Have a good night. Hello there, friends, and thank you for listening. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or would like to reach out to Ian and I about anything at all, you can find us at companion2thecompanion@gmail.com.